Hello, Sensei Cisco here for Cincy Martial Arts, and today we will be going over our basic and intermediate classes using the cardinal directions. Now, I do need to adjust the camera a little bit here, and we'll pull y'all in a little bit more. Sorry, we're getting started a little late today. Got caught up in another project, but we are here now, and we will work to the best of our ability. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this on our social media real fast. I know class starts at 6 o'clock, so if you're just jumping into the lobby, thank you for showing up on time. I apologize. I was having some few minor technical issues, just getting the computer booted up. We're having some lagging issues and pages that wouldn't go away for whatever reason. It's just running a little slow today. All right. There we go. That's there. That's, oh, nope. Not that button. All right. Now we're all set. Let's get started. Okay, great. Yes, and jumping jacks. If you tuned in yesterday, and I hope you did, yesterday we shot for our fitness class a critique on calisthenic exercises, including how to do a proper jumping jack, push-up, and sit-up. Today we'll open up class with a quick review of those subjects. If you didn't see that video, please go take a look at it. I know it's about an hour long, but it covers all the essentials for your calisthenic exercises, from pushing, pulling, squatting, and cardio and core. So covers a lot. Give it a look. Reviewing a couple essentials on good technique for maximum return. But for jumping jacks, you're gonna put your feet together. When you jump, you're gonna take your feet out just outside your shoulder width. Hands clap above your head, keeping your elbows level with your ears. Good posture is key here. We then jump back, closing the heels and hands at the same moment. Open together, close together. So you want to time your arms and legs as one and two. At the same time, we're not looking to lean forward or back. Shoulders are back for good posture, for open and close. And finally, we want to return to that start position. So as we jump, both feet want to move from the center. My belt remains in the midpoint and back. So at no point does my torso jump side to side. There is a version of jumping jacks that do that, but that's not the ones we're doing today. Ready? Let's go with 50. Itch, knee, sun, chi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju, itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, nichi, itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, sanji, itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, yonji, itch, ni, yon, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, doji. Deep breath. All right. Now you'll notice my counting. There is a time for you to count. Typically in class, you would count after the instructor. So I count itch, knee, and so on. However, if you're either leading class or counting for yourself at home or in your own private training, the count would be at the start of the exercise. For jumping jacks, that is in this standing or attention position, we count 1 and all the way back. When you get to those higher numbers, like 31, 32, Sanju ich, Sanju ni, this has 3 syllables. that we're counting out. So taking that pause, sanju ich, sanju ni. You can do it that way, but this slows down your repetitions. We want to keep motion active. So what I'll do is count during the retrieval. I'll start my count halfway. So about when my hands hit here, sanju ich, sanju ni. So the count occurs at the clap. I finish the number at the start of my new jump. This way I know, as soon as I say sanju ni, I'm now jumping into that number. So my count is still preempting the exercise itself. Let's take a look at that now with our push-ups. And we're still warming up, so let's go into those push-ups. Yesterday, we spoke on technique of a push-up being keeping your hips straight, meaning your spine and your thighs are in alignment, whether you're doing this off of your knees or off of your toes. The key is to keep a strong core so that your hips don't sink or press. We want to keep those level, and then we drop our chest 1 inch to the floor. So we want to hover, not touch. And we count from the top, ich, all the way down, all the way up. Ni, san, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju, and have a seat. For sit-ups, what I'll typically do, and this is something I've started doing in classes, so that I can look out at my student base and make sure everyone's moving and starting together. So in class, oftentimes I will count starting at the top position, ich, and return. This is a little counter to your average. Typically when you count, and the reason I do this is so that my students will count on the proper timing. You would count from a laid position. This way your exhale into the breath, ich, I can breathe out with that same breath. Then I can breathe in for the next count. Ni, san, shi, go, breathing out, breathing in. Roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. For our sit-ups. Now, come on up. Last one is our squats. Now, for a basic squat, we'll go with the frog or horse squat first. For today, we're going to put our feet about shoulder width apart with our toes flared about 15 to 20 degrees. We don't want a full 45 here. They're just opened up a little bit. As I drop down, I'm going to keep my elbows in the middle so that my knees push out over the toes. The goal is to bring my tail to my heels. Don't lift your heels up. We're looking to curve at the hip, having this position bend, not just the knees. If my heels come up, my knees bend less than my hips. With my heels down, my hips are forced to bend more. This will engage the muscle stronger. All right, ready? Again, I count at the top. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. Bounce it loose. And stretch your neck, turning our chin left or right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Up and down. Ich, ni, San, Shi, Go, Roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Tilting to the sides, Ich, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Roko, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. Roll the shoulders, little circles, big circles, reverse, reduce, twist, down to the hips, roll around, feeling your weight shift from your heels to your toes, toe to toe, heel to heel, and reverse, kind of feeling your weight push into your feet. The idea here is we're activating our feet to feel the ground and think with our toes. All right, roll the knees. Here we can warm up our ankles while we start rotating the knees. Reverse. And shake it out. All right, today we're going to stretch out using some straight leg kicks. So keeping your knees straight. There's no bend. This isn't like a thrust and kick. I'm just going to throw my foot up in the air as high as I can. So I'm starting with my right leg, going up the middle in line with my nose. Pitch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Switch. You'll notice it's swinging up my midline. Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And shake it out. Go to side kicks. So for a side swing, you can use a wall to help support because you're looking to throw up as high as you can. We're not looking for balance necessarily. We're looking at opening up the range of motion. So using one hand to counterbalance, I'm going to balance on my right foot so my left heel touching my right heel can swing up to the air, not with the toes, but with the heel, shooting out to my left corner. Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Now you notice I'm even using a hand here. Now to switch sides, I'm going to put my left hand on another wall. I'm putting my arm out to the side to make sure that my foot is rising on the correct angle. Without this, what can happen is your foot can swing up to the front or back behind, and this is going to stretch different parts of your body, and not necessarily the ones we want for a side or round kick, sort of flaying or spreading of the legs. So by pointing my hand, I now have a target to sort of aim towards for itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, keep your back straight, hachi, ku, ju, and relax. Now, by back straight, this doesn't mean standing tall. It means don't slouch, don't bow. Slouching comes from the chest, bowing comes from the stomach. So we're looking to keep our posture strong, even if we lean to one side. That leaning is going to help you lift the leg up to open your feet further. When you get to the point where you can do side kicks or round kicks straight up in the air, look at the technique of some of our Olympic level athletes and those ones that are able to shoot those split kicks straight up into the air. They're not standing straight and their foot folding over. It doesn't work like that. Grab an old G.I. Joe and try and fold that leg up. What'll happen is the leg pops out. you'll pull the leg out of socket. So we've got to turn our hips vertical. And when our hips turn, that connects to our spine, and that's going to bring your spine to the side as well. Now, this doesn't mean you want to lean your whole body over. Not at all. We do want to try and keep our shoulders up as much as possible so that our center of balance remains over the set balancing leg. But this is another lesson on just balance and general technique. All right, let's do one more stretch for the fronts. For this, we're going to take your right foot, so we'll share the same side, bring it around the back, grabbing with two hands, put your knees together, and then pull your foot back behind. Hitch and return. Ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Switch sides. Now I'm going to give you a side view for this so you can see it a little bit more. Again, I'm keeping my knees together as I pull back. Itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. And shake it out. Go ahead and shake your legs. Let the muscles hang loose. Rub the knees. And pump it back. All right, feeling pretty good? Should be fairly warmed up. Now, at this point, if you feel like you need to stretch a little bit more, by all means, feel free to, as we still discuss our cardinal directions. As a quick review from our class on Tuesday, we made a little chart. This is the one we made. On this chart, we have us sitting in the middle, and the little black dot towards the top is where we're facing. This is sort of your nose, your solar plex. The front angle of your body is marked by this. So the direction you start is your true north. I'll go ahead and put this kind of in the corner there so you guys can keep seeing it while I speak. So your true north is where you start class. Think of this as facing the flags, facing the instructor when you bow in, facing your opponent at the start of combat for a technique, for a bout. When you get together, start fight, and then separate. True north for you is just going to be that forward direction. Directly behind us would be south. At this moment, when you're looking at the screen would be your true north. You're facing the screen as you practice. Then as we move around, the wall towards your right would be east. The wall towards your left would be west. So if we're both facing the same direction, meaning you're facing this way, I got to turn and face the same way as you. Now we're both looking at this wall. So we have north, east, south behind us, and west to the left of us. Make sense so far? Now, using these directions, we'll practice some of our kicks and our strikes. We'll start with our strikes today. Now for this, we're going to do a mirroring exercise, meaning when I'm looking towards you, my directions are going to be kind of opposite. So, put a little cheat sheet there for me so I don't call the wrong directions on you. Right now, I'm facing you. This is our right side. This is our left side. So everything I call is going to mirror actions you take. So if you take a side kick with your left foot, we should have both kicked towards this west wall. With your right foot, we should have both kicked towards the east wall. So, sound good? Let's get to it. Shikanachi, shoulders back, left hands up with a punch to the center. So we're going to punch to the north 10 times. Stay low, stay seated. Itch, ni, sun, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Now turn to Zenkutsu facing your northeast corner. When we draw, face north, twist to punch west. Draw to the north, punch to the northeast. Turn to the north, punch to the northwest. Ready? We're going to start going northeast corner. Itch, pointing your nose and chest to that corner before drawing back to the north. Go west. Knee, chest and nose are pointed, same as our first two knuckles, on that northwest corner. Back to the north. Ready? From the top. Itch, knee, sun, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Excellent. Now, let's add some blocks to this. Go ahead and relax your legs. We're not going to put our blocks in. However, the blocks are also going to attack to these corners. So when we pull our shikarachi, my block in shikarachi wants to face this corner, even though my chest is facing north. This way I can block in shikarachi on the northeast corner before turning my zenkutsu into that powerful punch for a northeast gyakuzuke. I'll then draw back to the center and high block to the west. Northwest, zenkutsu to the northwest before punching to the northwest. Sound good? Let's try it out. Starting with the northeast corner, Jodan Uke, itch, knee, sun, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju, and relax. All right, Chudan Uke. Here, we kind of use our knees to help us pick this out. When you're in your shikarachi, you gotta look down at your feet. In shikarachi, the toes are flared out, right? So my toes are pointing already towards the northwest and towards the northeast. The only time they change from this, I'll come back a little bit so you can see a little better, is when I twist. Remember last week we talked about how we turn on the toes. So turning the heel up to lock my zenkutsu, leaning onto the front foot, and I'm facing that corner, right where my toe was already. When I draw back to the center, I'm pointing both until I point just the one. 2, 1, 2, 1. Sound good so far? Now, chest block, since we're not blocking to the front, these aren't the shikarachi blocks. These are going to be defensive blocks. What I'm going to do now is line up my elbow with that direction's knee. Because that direction knee tells me where my opponent is. I point it in the direction of the bad guy. So I'm going to hold the block on this line. There's my knee. Come straight up. Ready? Starting on the northeast. Itch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Now, inside block is where it gets a little funky. Because with my inside block, I'm going to bring my fist up to the front. Now, typically, when we do our inside blocks, go ahead and relax your legs. Our inside blocks would draw all the way across to the opposite shoulder. Because if I'm facing you here and you're punching at me, I want to push your fist away. That means I got to draw all the way over to this outside wall. However, if my opponent is over there, I only need to draw this far. From my north angle anyways, even with my outside shoulder. But to this guy, if I change my angle here, and here I have it's even with that opposite shoulder. So it's all about that matter of perspective. So our inside blocks for this one are going to draw from the outside block position, kind of level with the knee, and then pull to a north position before returning the punch. Come to the outside to north and punch. Outside to north, punch. Sound good? Let's try it out. Shikarachis, starting in the northeast. Bring your fist to the north position. And itch, outside, draw to north. Ni, sun, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Good. And shake it out. The inside block's a little goofy. Feels a little weird on this routine. But we're just looking at the angles. Pulling it from the outside in just enough to have it even with that target and my back shoulder. A straight line, shoulder, fist, enemy. All right, moving to gate on, low block. Here, we're gonna put our fist above the knee. Again, angling towards the bad guy before turning and swinging down. Kind of let your elbow lead so the hand can flick to position. Elbow to flick, elbow to flick. Keeping it in line with the leg. Ready? Face your northeast corner. Itch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And relax. Shake it out. Now, for some of my more experienced students, you may notice I wasn't setting up chambers for this one. That's okay. I know you're probably sitting there freaking out going, Sensei, you didn't chamber. That's all right. You don't always have to have a chamber. The chambers are here at your early levels to teach you coordination, how to develop the strength and draw for a strike, and to get your double block. Block one, block two. Block one, block two. Block one, block two. Block one, block two. The chambers teach us the coordination for double blocks, or deflect setup into grappling and strikes. But by no means does it have to be there every single time. It's circumstantial. If you're holding something with one hand, maybe you're grappling, you're holding here, and they throw a punch in the face. Well, I don't want to let this go to throw a high block. I want to hold this hand and then just move what they're swinging out of the way. So, if you got confused or you were a little like, oh, what's going on? This is why. It's okay. It's normal. All right. So shake it out. Now we've got a little look at our blocks and punches. Let's move into our kicks for the last bit of Kihon today. Now, on our kicks, front, axe, side, and round. We're going to go through each one, 10 kicks on each leg. That's going to be a total of 80 kicks. So let's move through them so we can get our water break. Put our right leg back, guards up. Front kick is going to draw the chamber towards the north before pushing the ball of the foot north, drawing back and down. So knee extension, knee and down, everything pointing to the north, including my lead leg. I'm going to point my balance foot at the target. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Roko. Suchi. Hachi, excuse me. Ku. Ju. Red switch feet. On the left side. Itch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And switch. Axe kick is going to draw similar. So on our right leg, the axe kick strikes on the north angle, but it's going to set up by crisscrossing, meaning I'm going to swing my foot My right foot's going to swing to the northwest corner first before drawing to the north and pulling back to chamber. Sound good? So swing it across, bring it down the north. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coot. Jeep. Switch. Left side. Left is going to draw across towards our northeast corner before pulling down the north. Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Coot. Jeep. And shake it out. Now, side kick. Side kick's a little funky. Because for this, we're not going to pivot, so don't worry about twisting your body. Instead, let's look at just the chamber and extension. Starting with our right leg, this you kind of put your feet side by side, shoulder width. My opposite foot, if I'm going to kick with my right, my left foot wants to turn out to my northeast corner, or I'm sorry, my northwest corner. So I've got a little 45-degree turn here. Think of it, stand at attention and keep this foot where it is. My kicking leg, however, is going to draw up with my knee facing north. I'm going to pull my hip up as well on that side. So a front kick would have my hips level, facing the north. Side kick would have the kicking hip up a little higher so that the heel kind of pokes out. So it kind of sneaks forward a little bit, and it's in front of my toes. My foot's not turned here. If my toes are out, I'm going to push with the toes. That's a very different kind of kick. This is what we might call a hooking round kick or a corner front kick. Because there you would take your toes and sort of jab with them outwards. Different kind of kick. We'll talk about that another day. For right now, let's focus just on the side. So, support foot facing the northwest corner. Kicking knee facing the north and hip drawn up to the east. I'm then going to push my heel to the east before pulling my knee back to the north. Now, a common mistake or a common issue I see students run into is you'll kick and then bring your foot back, but keep your knee out. If you keep your knee out, that's a round kick. That's a swing from the back to the front. You can see the difference here. My knee is out, so my foot has to swing. Versus if I pull my knee in, I can push my foot out. Knee in and push out. So side kick is a thrust, it is a push. So we want our foot to stay in line here, to push straight down towards the target. Sound good? This is what makes side kick one of the hardest kicks to learn. But if you can master it, most of your kicks, everything else is going to be very easy, at least by comparison. All right. Side kicks, drawing to the north, pushing to the east, coming back to the north and down. Ready? Go ahead, turn your hands out to the east to counterbalance your weight. And itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, hachi, coot, ju. Excellent. Go ahead, switch sides. Sorry, real quick, we got a pop up on the computer. Let's get rid of that. All right. Oh, go away, pop-ups. All right, to the right side. So left foot pointing to our northeast corner. Right foot draws up to the north, lifting the hip to the west. And itch, knee, sun, sheep, go, roko, sichi, hachi, Coup. Ju. Excellent. Shake it loose. Round kicks are last. The setup's going to be the same. Kicking with my left, so my right foot's going to turn to the northwest corner. My left foot, however, instead of pulling my knee to the north, my knee's going to pull towards the northeast corner. This way my shin is flat. Foot and knee are the same distance to the east. From a side angle, it should look like this. So notice how my shin right here is flat. All I'm doing is lifting the knee. This way I can swing through the north, and I'm going to point my toes to the corner. So in this case, even though I'm kicking to the east, I'm going to swing all the way through to the northeast corner. Ready? Left foot pointing to the northwest, and lift your knee to the northeast, toes pointed to the southeast. Swing through, swing back, and down. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Other side. Right foot pointing to the northeast. Left knee pointing, lifting to the south, or the northwest. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And relax. Shake it off. Bounce it loose. And we'll pause there. Let's go ahead and break for water. Okay, right? And get yourself a drink. Now, as always, if you have questions, throw them in the comments. This is the best time for me to answer them directly as part of the stream. If you have questions in the future, again, write them in. I get notified. So never feel like you can't ask questions, even through YouTube. Right. Oh, water's way over there. Hey, Luna. Big kitty just walked by. So, I'm hoping these cardinal directions are helping everyone understand the 8 directions that your body can take. Essentially, calling them north, south, east, west, these are all just replacing the natural angles of your body. Forward, back, left, right, front left, back right, and so on. But by giving them these cardinal directions, we can kind of get everyone on the same page starting off, especially if you have issues thinking about left and right. Because ultimately, when it comes to your karate practice, while it's important for you to know left from right, as this will come in during teaching, it allows your instructor to say, all right, put your right foot out, put your left hand up. They can give you direct calls from across the room. Ultimately, when you're fighting, you're not going to think left and right. You're going to think front leg and back leg. And that's it. If it switches, that's fine. Maybe my right leg is lead. I'm on southpaw. Maybe my left leg is lead. Now I'm in fighting position. But the main focus during combat is which foot is in the lead, because that's going to be your fast sign. Quick punches, quick snap kicks. The back side is going to be that power hit to turn your body and throw a heavy reverse punch, or spinning that back leg into a whipping round kick. So during combat, we want to think forward and back, corner to corner, rather than strictly left and right, because your opponent's going to be opposite whatever you're doing. If you and I were facing each other and you square up with your left foot forward, guards up, you're facing me. If I'm in my fighting position, I'm here. Now, do I have my left foot forward or my right foot forward? From your perspective, this is your right side, but it's my left foot. So that's a lot of steps to get around. All right, your right side is my left side, so I got my left foot forward. That's a lot of mental gymnastics. To get around this, we can just think, all right, which leg is in front? That one. So I know that's their fast side. That's going to be their strong side. So whatever they do, I'm probably going to go this way because I know I can get to their backside easier through this corner. So if they throw a jab, I can shoot in very easily on that corner and attack, get to the back. Woo. Sorry, we just got interrupted by a kitty tussle. They're doing some judo in the middle of class. All right, kitties. Good job. Good fight. Now bow. Good girls. They didn't bow. I'm just joking. All right. So let's get back to it. Come to attention and break. Now let's get into our katas. Again, using these cardinal directions to facilitate. We got an itch and we got a knee. So facing the same direction, I'm now facing in your north, meaning we are both facing this wall. North, east, south, west. Attention, and get itch. Yo, on the count. Up, low block, facing the west. Up, step through, punch with your right hand. And I mentioned, knowing left and right is still important. Up, take your right foot, stepping back towards the east, so that you can spin on your toes and block down with that right side again. Up, step through to the east, into a punch. Now your left foot is going to shoot north. Up, step to the north, and another low block. Then we have how many punches? 1, 2, 3. Left foot steps to the southeast corner, coming behind the body, to then follow it, turning through the west to block down. Step up to that southeast corner, high block. Right foot will shoot to the southwest, low block, drawing up to a high block, again, southwest. Left foot's going to do a little shift over, pointing to the south, so I can punch with the right hand. And we have 3 more of these. This is number 1, then we step. 1, 2, 3 punches to the south. Right foot is forward, left hand is up. At this point, you should be facing away from the camera. If you want to peek over your shoulder real quick, that's fine. But your body is facing away, facing the south. All right, left foot again is going to step to the back corner. This time it is northwest to spin to the east and block low on that northwest corner. Step up, punching high to the northwest. Right foot shoots northeast to block low. Step up to punch high on the northeast. Draw your left foot back into yoi and bow. Or forget itch. Let's go again. This time a little faster. You got itch, yoi. West, low block. West, punch. East, low block. East, punch. North, low block. North, punch. 1, 2, 3. Left foot goes southeast to low block. Southeast to high block. Southwest to low block. Southwest to high block. Left foot shifts to the south or reverse punch on the south. Then 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. Left foot shoots around the back to the northwest corner. Spin to low block. Step up to punch high on the northwest. Go northeast with a low block. Continue northeast with a high punch. Draw back to yoi and bow. Forget itch. Speed up a little bit more. Forget itch. Yoi. East. East. I'm sorry, west, west. East. East. North. 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 Southeast. Southeast. Southwest. Southwest. South. 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 Northwest. Northwest. Northeast. Northeast. True north and bow. We're getting a little quicker. If you're struggling keeping up, again, practice makes perfect. Don't stress it. Don't worry about it. Just keep walking through it. The more you walk through this, the more things you're going to pick up. Just take it one piece at a time. In the olden days, 100 years ago, when they ran this stuff, typically you would run one kata for a full year before you were allowed to test. So one whole year is what it took just to learn the essentials of your kata. It's at that point that you start working on the mastery of your kata, and that is a lifetime itch. So in 30 years, you will too. So don't worry about getting it 100% perfect right now. Just learn what you can as you go. Ready? Forget itch. This time, instead of calling directions, I'm going to call stances. Yoi. Zenkutsu. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Shizen Taidachi. Katsuke. Yoi. Great. You got itch. With practice, that speed will come. You just got to keep working on it. Keep trying it. Keep practicing, watching your seniors, and just do as they do. All right. Let's move on into Forget a Knee. So for our second kata, here again, we'll start off slow, calling our cardinal directions. Forget a knee. Your right foot steps to the north so we can turn to the east, west, and high block. Step to the west, high punch. Right foot steps back towards the east on a balance beam so we can turn our shikadachi to the north and take our left hand to inside block, roll to a low block. Look to the east, rise up to the right foot. Right hand blocks to the east. Step through to the east, high punch. That left foot we just stepped with is now going to come back to the balance beam to turn our shikadachi, chest to the north, and low block on the right hand. Left foot steps up to the north, outside block, right to the north, outside block. Now we're going to get into that combo we talked about last week. Left foot is going to front kick to the north, drop the chamber into a Zenkutsu. Left elbow drives up, right punch low, left block low, right punch middle. Bring your right foot up, not all the way, but just so that you can turn your chest to the east and take your right hand to chop to the south. We're then going to turn our body to the south, step through left to the south, and chest block. Right foot, Maigiri, front kick to the south, drop into Zenkutsu with your right foot leading. Right elbow up, left punch low, right block low, left punch mid. Bring your left foot up, but not all the way. so that you can turn your chest to the east once more, and left hand will chop to the north. Turn your body to the north. Left foot steps back to the south, so we have a right foot Zankutsu facing north. Right hand block, chest block, pull it in, double punch. Bring your feet up together and apart, so now we're in a left Zankutsu facing north. Left chest block before we draw, and double punch to the north. Come back to Yoi, and bow. Now, I know in this case my back is turned, so it's hard to see those double punches, but a double punch is here. The bottom foot that's out is that low hand. The other one is punching straight to the chest, just like our, we got an itch, reverse punches. So opposite hand and foot in the middle of the chest. We're just taking the back hand or the front hand and punching low to the belly. Let's try that a couple times as a mirror. Put your right foot out, right hand low, left hand middle. Come together, come apart. Pull back, left hand low, right hand middle. Together, apart. Pull back and push. Back hand in the middle. Together, apart. Pull, push. Lead hand low. Together, apart. Pull, push. Lead hand low. Together, apart. Pull, push. Up. 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 Now, you notice I'm doing some spins here. That will come in the future. Right now, think pull and push. Pull and push. That sweeping motion we'll get to in another class. And this is something I introduce more in the yellow belt and even more so the orange belt level. But right now, don't worry about it. Think about that push-pull motion starting off. All right, let's go again. We're gonna knee. Yoi. Right foot to the north, turn to the west, high block. Step right foot to the west, high punch. Right foot comes back to balance beam. Chest to the north, left hand inside block, rolling to low block. Turn to the east, right high block. Left to the east, high punch. Left foot steps back to the balance beam. Chest to the north, low block to the east. Left foot steps north for one chest block. Right to the north, second chest block. Left front kick. Drop forward stance to the north. Left elbow up. Right punch low. Left block low. Right punch middle. Bring your right foot in so your chest can turn east. Right hand chops south. Turn to the south. Step through with the left. And chest block to the south. Right foot, kick to the south. Drop your Zankutsu, right leg on the south. Right elbow up. Left punch low. Right block low. Left punch middle. Bring your left foot in to turn your chest to the east and chop to the north. Turn to the north. Left foot shoots back. Draw and push. Step up together. Right foot shoots back. Draw and push. Come up to Yoi and bow. Or forget a knee. All right, now checking our timer here. We're almost there. Let's go through forget a knee one more time. On this one, I'm just going to call the stances. So follow along, remembering our cardinal directions. West, west, east, east, north, south, and complete. Ready? We're going to need Yoi. Chizutarachi, Chizutarachi, Shigurachi, Chizutarachi, Chizutarachi, Shigurachi, Chizutarachi, Chizutarachi, Maigiri, Zenkutsudachi. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Katsuke. Chizutarachi, Maigiri, Zenkutsu Dachi. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kyotsuke. Twist, Zenkutsu Dachi. Switch, Zenkutsu Dachi. Back to Yoi. And break. There we have it. So, let me know, are the cardinal directions helping you out? Is this making more sense on how and where to turn? I hope it does. But if you're still having issues, just practice. Again, the more you do it, the easier it gets. I can't stress that enough. Is the body has a very slow learning curve. You know, our minds can understand things really quick. Our brains are made that way. So we can understand stuff, we can think about things, we can remember things relatively easy. For some of us, it's a little harder, but compared to our body, oh, this thing's a genius. I always say, your muscles are dumb. My muscles are dumb. They don't like to think, they don't like to learn new things. Our bodies like to do what we do every day. Gracie says they help her out. All right, excellent. I'm glad they help you, Gracie. But our muscles, again, they don't like new things. So when we're trying to teach our bodies new ways of walking, new ways of kicking, of striking, of stepping, of standing, we've got to force our body using our mind to say, no, you do it like this. Just do it like this. If we're having issues with shikadachi, and my shikadachi is always up here, and sensei's coming on and hitting my knees and sit down lower, pushing your hips down, get down lower. This is your sensei being your brain to tell your body to sit down. It's less of your sensei telling you to sit low, it's your sensei telling your body to sit low. Because you know to sit low. Sensei's told you at least 100 times. I'm sure sensei has come around and given you the same note. No, chamber back, bend your knees. Sensei has told you many times, so you know to do it. But it's your body that doesn't want to listen. So to get our bodies to listen, to get our bodies to remember, your mind has to go, that's too high. I got to push those knees to sit down low. I got to bring my shoulders back to keep my posture. I got to turn Zenkutsu to the corners so I'm not over twisting and off balance. Your mind controls your body. So use it. Remember it. Apply it. All right. So I'm glad this is helping some of you out. Thank you, Gracie, for letting me know. We're going to bow out for basic class in just a moment. But before we do, I want to wish you all a very happy weekend. This concludes our 5th week now of stay-at-home orders and quarantine. 5 weeks of no face-to-face, just working this way is tough. And I want to commend every single one of you for continuing with it, pushing yourselves, working hard, sweating, and learning. From the Skype calls that I've seen so far, for those who were able to schedule those, which I'm still setting up, we still have availability. If you're still interested, please sign up. But from those I have been able to talk to, you guys are working very hard, and I couldn't be prouder. This is the time that separates the future black belts to the not, to the ones who give up, that quit, that will never make it. So continue to apply yourself, continue to work your best. Not perfect. Never looking for perfect. We're looking for your best, because that's how we get to perfection. So don't stress yourself too hard. Just do what you can to the best of your ability, and you will make it there. Just take some time and patience. But thank you all. Let's come to attention. Kyotsuke. Arigato gozaimasu. Basic class is dismissed. I will see you in the next one. And for intermediate class, we'll get started in just a moment. I'm going to take a quick water break. When we come back, we'll get into your kick combinations, cat stances, and P9 katas. Oh, yeah, she is. Before we had Kume, she was riding with the sun above ground. But now completely off the field. She's standing upright. Like she still has some lift to her, but yeah, she's healthy now. Yeah, really. I bet your Bruce would say she's overweight. Oh yeah, she's a little overweight, but she's not obese. All right, and we're back now. Sure, you guys probably overheard a little bit. That was me and Miss Megan talking about our cat Luna. She's a little chunky, but
she's fat.
she is. We nicknamed her Big Fat Kitty because she used to be very rotund. She was not healthy. We tried to keep her on diets, but she'd get into stuff and eat people food too much. She'd sneak into things and then not run around and play and exercise. She was a lazy cat. But since we got Kume last year, Luna has lost a lot of weight. This is Luna.
This is Luna. She's a big cat.
Yeah, she's a big cat, but she ain't obese anymore. She's just a little chunky.
Yeah.
But she's a good girl. She's healthier now. She's standing up all the way. Her stomach used to rub the floor when she walked. Like she could not walk all the way, so she'd actually remove the fur from her belly. She was getting too big. But since we got Kume last year, Kume's keeping on her toes wrestling, as you guys saw earlier today. They play a lot. This is Kume.
This is baby kitty.
She's a little sweetie pie.
Sensei Cisco rescued her when she was only 3 days old with the fire department.
Yes. That's actually during a private lesson. We found out she was in a storm drain underneath my student's house. So 4 firefighters and 2 trucks later, they were able to fish her out and we saved her. Took her over to our vet. We performed some emergency surgery on her and she has been healthy and great ever since. So if you do live in the East Cincinnati area near Milford, Loveland, I highly recommend Gallardo Animal Hospital. They do a wonderful job. They are the sweetest people on earth, but
not sponsored.
Yes, not sponsored. But I digress. Love my kitties, so I wanted to share. Now, let's get back to business. Let's focus up. Katsuke. Onegaishimasu. And let's warm it up with some shadow boxing. Let's go ahead on your toes. I'm going to go ahead and mirror with you so your left leg is in front and bounce. Guard up, elbows in. Have your left hand kind of hanging out in front a little bit further. Your back hand should be up near your nose, about 4 inches away. The lead hand down near your shoulder height so that you can guard low, high, low, high. Let's practice that. Step back low, shoot in high. Low, high. Low, high. Low, high. Low, high. Think of it as flicking from the elbow, turning the wrist down, then shooting in and pushing from the elbow up. This way we kind of duck under. Somebody throws, let's say, a front kick. I deflect, shoot in. They shoot a punch with their right hand. So I would lift over to cut underneath. Now I have access to their stomach to, I don't know, maybe throw a jab or even go for that shoulder spear. Or even better, ooh, low block, high block. Since their hand's already down here, go for a single leg and drive through. Excuse me, I got a cat toy on my foot. Ready? Low, high, low, high, low, high, Let's shoot that single leg. Low, high. Take your right hand to scoop, kind of reaching out to pull to your belly, and then push, shikadachi, with a front forearm kind of thrusting in to where their torso would be. Low, high, scoop, and press. Think of it like a elbow smash from Kiantande. Ready? Bounce. Low, high, scoop and push. Reset. Hup. Hup. From the side angle. Hup. Hup. Good. Shake it out. And switch sides. So your right leg is leading. Bounce. Using your toes, balls of the feet, to push off the ground, catch and push, catch and push. Keep it light and loose. Back to low, front to high. Give it just the low high. Block low, push high. Snap low, push high. Up. 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 All right, let's add the scoop. Low, high, scoop, and thrust. Ready? Bounce it out. Low, high, scoop with the right. Thrust through the left. Up. 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 So I'm messing that up. 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 And relax. Shake it out. Deep breath. And for today, let's do a triangle stretch. So, take your feet apart, prayer hands, bow your chest to the middle. And once you get to the point you feel a stretch, pulse your chest to the ground. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, kyu, ju, up. Keeping your toes facing front. Turn your chest to your right and bring your chest to the foot. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Up the center. To your left side, keep the toes facing front. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. You're good? But tilt to your right, left hand behind your ear. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roka, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Other side, tilting to your right, keep your shoulders back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Excellent. Bring the heels in, push the knees out. Drop the left shoulder to the middle, twisting your spine. And switch. Drop your right shoulder to the center. Keep that pressure on the insides of your knees. Hey, Kume. Good. Drop your left knee to the floor and rock to the wall. Itch. Knee. Sun, so I'm kind of leaning back as I do this to create a long arch on that back knee. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Staying low. Lift your knee. Tishikadachi. Drop your knee to the high knee position. Itch. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Roko. Sichi. Notice I'm kind of keeping my shoulders back over that knee. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And again, switch sides, keeping your knee bent to open and close. We're going to do this back and forth 10 times. Itch. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Roko. Turn on your toes. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Excellent. And have a seat. Go ahead and shake it out. Loosen up. And bring your right heel in, left heel out in front. So you have a little space between. So what we're going to do here is lift our hips up to that hole and back. So we're going to come up and in so that our back foot, the instep, top of your foot is on the floor, front foot is facing forward. And roll it back. Knee. Sun. Chi. Notice I switch my guard to the corner and to the front. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. I'm also pushing my lead knee forward. Ku. Push the knee. Draw the knee. Ju. And switch. Left foot in, right foot out. The distance between your feet should be just enough space for your bottom to sit in. For me, this is about, I'd say 10 inches. If you're a little shorter than me, you might be looking closer to 8 inches. But should be enough space for you to sit your bottom into. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Good posture. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And relax. Shake it out. Lay down flat. Deep breath. And we're going to add one more today. Planting your feet up near your hips. Take your hands to the sky. Then bend your elbows so that your fingers come towards your ears. And then down on the ground, fingers pointing to your shoulders. And then glue your hands so you can push your hips to the sky. And bridge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your shoulders and down. Relax. And come on up. Bounce it loose. Feeling good. All right. Now, today, and we're going to keep on with the cardinal directions. If you feel like you need to stretch a little bit more, by all means, but stretch the areas that you feel like you need to.
we're going to talk a little bit on these directions. So, just as a quick review, on Tuesday, we introduced our 8 cardinal directions. Essentially, from a top-down view, you are facing currently, if you're facing the screen, you are looking north. Behind you would be south, to your right would be east, to your left would be west, corner northeast, corner northwest, and so on. These directions are going to aid us in our training as we think forward, back, left, right directions, but we're no longer thinking of left and right. Simply because as we run things like kata, we turn around and we spin. Meaning, even in things like if we got an itch, if we start facing the front, suddenly I got a low block and a punch. When I turn around, I'm going behind me. But from my start position, this is my right wall. So because I've changed the angle of my body, the new angle of that wall has changed. To keep a standardization, we give each wall a cardinal direction. This will allow us as a group or individuals to think, all right, during the kata, which wall should I be facing? If this is my true north, I have west, I have east. I come back to the north, I go to the southeast. I go to the southwest, I go to the south. I go to the northwest, I go to the northeast. Simple enough. But let's say we switch this. And now we all face this way to start. Well, now this is my true north. That's not my north anymore. This is. So even though I'm facing a different direction, if I thought to myself, all right, in this room, forget H always starts this way on that wall. If I started my forget H this way, my initial inclination would be to turn around. But this isn't how forget H starts, is it? Forget H goes to my west wall first. So here I have north, west, east, north. So you see my directions have shifted. So this is why the cardinal directions can help us in creating a true north from the start of my position. And now I can use that for any direction I'd be in, even if I'm facing this corner of the room. This is my new true north, the corner, meaning all the walls are my northeast, my northwest. You're on my northwest right now. My true west, and so on. So I'd start, forget itch, west, east, north. I'm doing the same techniques. I have the right hand up, 2, 3, left foot steps back to the corner. So the kata hasn't changed. The cardinal directions have simply adjusted to my new true north. And this is key. This allows your interpretation of kata to always remain consistent. This way, if you go outside and you're practicing perhaps in a field, within that field, you only need one point of reference. Come to attention facing a specific tree. That tree is now your true north. Now, while you look at that tree, you can think, all right, if that's my north, I know my west is this direction. I get halfway through my kata, and let's say I have an angle here. Well, I know I got to go true north next. So I can do that spin, return to that reference point. So, hope this makes sense so far. Now, all that being said, let's go into our kick combinations and strikes. So, I think on we are right now practicing on putting 2 kicks together, thinking about how they flow together. That was a big focus of last week, and we're using that a little bit this week in conjunction with our cardinal directions. Now, I'm going to create a mirror for you, meaning this is our right side, this is our left side. From a fighting position, left foot is in the lead, guard is up. Front kick draws north, 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 and down. Simple enough. Well, let's combine front kick with our round kick. North, 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 pivot, north,
northwest, northeast to draw through, pointing the toes northwest before we bring it all the way back. True north and down. Ready? Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Switching feet. Right leg back, southpaw. North, north, north. Pivot. Northeast, northwest. Extend to northeast before drawing back. True north and down. Ready? Hitch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And shake it out. Deep breaths. All right, next, let's do one of my favorites, crescent to side. So from a fighting position, right leg is back. I'm going to start my crescent kick, striking on the north. But after I get that hit, my knee is currently pressing to northeast. My follow through wants to turn that to true west. So I can then extend the side kick north before drawing back. So we crescent kick through, flipping the knee over, and then pushing the heel out. Ready? Itch. Oop, watch out, kitty cat. Yes. Ooh, toy. Don't step on your cats. Ready? Unless they try and come back with a toy. All right. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Pivot. Hachi. Pivot first. Ku. Ju. And switch sides. Left leg back. Crescent. Turning your side chamber all the way to the east before extending the heel to the north. Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Roko. Sichi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. And relax. Shake it out. Whew. Feeling good. All right. Let's go into strikes. Now let's take a look at one of our dodges, our soft block techniques. For this, let's start off in a fighting position, and we're going to take this one off the front kick. So our opponent, facing this way, is going to throw a right leg front kick towards us. Meaning, if you're facing the opponent here, they're throwing this leg into you. This is going to be on your left side. So, flipping things in a camera and then mirroring for you gets things a little funky. So, they're kicking with their right leg. which means the attack is coming in on this angle. I want to set up my fighting position, mirroring with you. Now, if I'm mirroring, I need to flip my opponent as well, which means my opponent is attacking here as a mirror towards you. All right. So, okay, I figured out my brain. I got to flip the opponent as well so that my technique looks properly on your mirror. All right, so right-hand side, left-hand side. They are attacking with that right foot. So they're attacking towards you here. We're going to draw up to deflect, dodging away, but not deflecting, I used the wrong word there, but lowering what I like to call the open door technique, pointing our thumb back so we can catch with a little hook of the thumb just beside their knee. We can then cross over with the left leg for our crane, turn into a Zenkutsu, punch, drawing back with the right leg before front kicking to push them away. Sound good? Let's practice a couple of these just as shadow. Left leg lead, right leg pulls up, facing the west, block down. Left foot crosses over to turn into a punch, and then a thrust drawing back so that our left leg can then come up and thrust kick them away. Ready? Itch, knee, sun, sheep. Reset, go. Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go. Itch, knee, sun, sheep, go. Now, let's take a look at this with our cardinal directions. Our opponent is attacking into us, which means they're moving towards our south. For you, that would be behind you. As I move in, with the left leg leading, they're attacking with their right foot. I'm going to shift, bring both my feet, toes pointing to the west, to create this low block. My new right hand lead foot, thumb is kind of pointing back behind me towards the east. Now I'm not extending the thumb, but rather I'm using that joint there to catch. My left foot will then cross out in front towards the west, but a little north. As I do this, I'm going to bring a crane hand up toward the face. Now, a crane is basically this position. If you open up your hand, put your fingers together, and then drop your fingers, this is a crane. Kind of looks like a bird's beak. Kind of looks like a bird. So this is why we call it the crane. It's like a crane's head diving down into the water to grab the shrimp or whatever they eat. The strike occurs with the back of the wrist, not the wrist joint, but just above that here. This would be your striking zone. This does take time to develop. I would not recommend using it to hit things right now if you're just starting it, but rather practice this on the makiwar or striking post if you have one, even a heavy bag a little bit. But I'd have a separate tutorial on that if you want to check out our makiwar striking tutorial. I believe the crane strike is part of that. Now, back to work here. We just did our low block, crane with the step. We're going to turn on the balls of our feet, facing west, east, and punching with the left hand. We're then going to pull back with our lead leg, not all the way, but really just to a point of like a cat stance. So we can shift our weight and take that little bit extra distance to push our opponent out to the east. Ready? Itch, facing west, knee, crane up, sun, turn to the east with the punch. She, draw back, and kick, thrusting them away. Sound good? All right. Let's speed it up. And itch, knee, sun, she. Reset. Itch, knee, sun, she. Itch, knee, sun, she. itch, knee, sun, sheet. Itch, knee, sun, sheet. Notice, sometimes, depending on the distance of your opponent and the length of your legs, you're going to want to use the cat. Other times you're going to want to do a full draw, heel to heel. This is circumstantial. But read your opponent, read your sizes, gauge your distances. Practice this with a heavy bag, especially. If you have something you can hit, this is the best way to help you judge those distances for yourself. If you don't have a heavy bag, I highly advise that you invest in one. It is one of the best pieces of equipment that you can get for martial arts training. All right, let's check our time here, and that's the halfway mark. So we will go ahead and take a break, bow for water, and again, as always, feel free to write in any comments that you may have, questions or issues at this time. So far, I'm glad to, I've been hearing some positive feedback on the way classes are being run this week. As I understand it, it's coming across much easier. I'm moving a little bit slower than I have been the past weeks to facilitate better explanation and demonstration of these techniques for you. Because ultimately that's what's needed. Here is I need to explain and demonstrate more so that you know what to do. Now, you do still want to get a good exercise out of this. So if you're finishing these lessons and you're not sweating, please let me know. Because right now I can't see you, which means I don't know if you are sweating. I know I tend to get to sweating when I do this, but I've been going for a couple hours already. So I can't use my own sort of body temperature to gauge how intense this workout is really going for everybody. So your feedback means the world to me. It helps me a lot in how I plan and strategize for these lessons. So please let me know what's going on. It does help a lot. All right, let's come back to it. That's it. Great. And relax. So we've been talking this week, adding in our cardinal directions. Now, I do know some of our intermediate students are still having some issue in reviewing. We got an itch, we got a knee, those basic katas, because at this level, we don't really stress it too much during class. Your classes should be primarily around the katas that you are currently learning. You already know if you got an itch, you got a knee, and should know pt.2. pt.2 being the orange belt kata at the end of basic class, at least for our school's curriculum. Which means those three forms you should have down pretty well, at least to be able to get through start to finish and then work on the strategies and ideas that we emphasize during your intermediate class. You know, especially when it comes to cat stance, timing the strike, continuing to work on them and rehearse them with the most knowledge that you currently have. That being said, we should not ignore them in class, because there are going to be certain aspects of these katas that adapt and change as we move through them. Concepts that we bring in from our new katas and now apply to those previous ones. Case in point, these twists, turning on the toes and snapping the hip into the strike. One of the main focuses that I give for my intermediate class is that hip turn, starting to activate that twist of the feet to create action in your form. So let's take a look at if we got an itch and if we got a knee, pt.2 and pt.shodan. And we'll walk the ladder moving through these one after another. So each time we do a kata, we're just going to move straight into the next one, straight into the next one, and then we'll reset to the beginning. We'll just do this over and over again throughout the day, taking a look at all the different positions that this hip turn may be applicable. We're still going to keep our cardinal directions in mind as we go. So let's start off with we got itch. Everybody facing the north. So you are facing the screen, looking at my back. I am looking at the sheet in front of me. So we're all facing true north. and we got itch. Yoi. Now our first step, when I come out and forget itch, I'm going to lean my body to the west, meaning I'm going to let my weight kind of tip just to that point of falling. Go ahead and try that out. Tension stance, yoi position, lean your whole body over right till you feel like you're about to fall. You feel that point? For me, it's right about here. If I go any further, I'm going to tip. It's at this point I want to take my left foot and shoot out to position. This is going to allow my body weight to fall into my stance. From yoi, and I can fall into this punch. Yoi, lean and fall. Now I can set my shikarachi, catch my weight, and drive this punch into the twist. That fall is going to generate our starting momentum. Ready? Up, fall, and snap. Up, 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 up. Hey, good. Let's keep going. Up, towards the west. Up, stepping back to the east. Up, 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 up. Hey, up, up, up. Hey, hip. Ki on that first punch. Up, up. Hey, up, up, up. Hey, hey. Go. Right. Now, let's now look at how those hips shift for forget itch. Right? Forget itch. Yo. Remember this tilt. We're going to lean, pop our shikarachi, and then throw the hip through to help generate more power, hip into hand. Try that out. Throw the hip, throw the hand after. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Sound good? From the top. Hup. Step through. Hup. Hup. Step back. Again, here's another shikarachi. Throw your left hip in so your right hand can swing down. Hup. Hup. Another shikarachi. Throw the hip into the hand. Hup. 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 Stepping back. Now our right hip is going to swing around to throw the hand after. Hup. Hup. Left hip into the right hand. Hup. Here's the ki, but as we shift over, instead of shikarachi zenkutsu, we're just using an open chisentai to pull the right hip in and throw the right fist forward. Hup. Hup. Hey. Hup. Step behind with the left. Now our right hip is swinging around to throw into the left block. Hup. 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 Hey. 3. Or forget itch. Let's take the same idea into forget a knee. Think about how our hips throw into the strikes. Ready? Forget a knee. Yo. Right foot takes a little step forward so we can turn the right hip around and then throw our block up. Ready? Up. Now, here we're getting sort of a spin in towards our left side, towards the west, but our block is shooting upwards. So what we're going to look to do is sort of turn that energy around and up, sort of scooping it as we go. Now, one way we can do this is by using our shield. If I change my direction here, this is my north, this is my west. After I step forward and I turn, I'm going to use that turn to set up a right hand inside block. That'll start the energy, and then I can slide up from it. Build the energy, press the energy. Redirect and strike. So this is like what I said in basic class. If you watched our basic lesson and we did our corner blocks without any chambers, I mentioned that the chambers aren't always necessary, but they are sometimes. This is the case where that chamber is absolutely necessary because this gives us our initial deflection. We're doing an inside block here to redirect their strike past my ear. Then my left hand pushes them up out of the way so I can step in towards their face and deliver that strike to the opening I've created. So I protect myself, I open them up, and I knock them out. Ready? From the top. Yoy. Up. Up. Hey. Now, here, as I step back, I'm going to draw my left hip into the inside block and then set. Inside block, pulling the hip, then set my weight for the low. Let's try that together. In fact, I'm going to mirror this one for you. Up, stepping back, take your left hip, pull it in for that inside block, sort of 1 and 2. Then set low to swing low. 1, 2. Ready? Ready? So I'm mirroring to you. Your right foot is out. Drawing back. Left hip. Left hand. Sit with the hammer. All right, let's continue. Same direction now. Look to the right, towards the east. Draw up and block. Now this one is just an upward motion. I'm looking to generate upward force with the standing leg. Step through and punch. Now again, we're going to draw back, set, and low. Up, step up for chest block 1, 2, Maigiri, stomp it for the elbow. Punch low, block low, punch mid. Draw up, facing chest to the east. Now here, as we draw up, my right foot is coming from behind so that I can turn, bring my left hip around. And you can kind of see my belt tassels are already swinging in that direction. I'm just going to follow that. Swing and swing. See my belt tassels kind of lead my hand. For the strike. Moving on. Up. Step through for the chest block. And now you should have left hand, left foot facing away from the camera. Or facing away from your screen. Maigiri. Elbow. Punch. Block. Punch. Then we're going to do the same on the left. We're going to draw the left foot up. Right hip flicks around. And throw the left hand to the north. Turn to the north as we step back. Double block. Or draw with the outside block leading. Double punch. Draw together and apart. Outside block. And punch. Back to Yoi. And back. So, this is a little bit of Fuganini. Now you'll notice Fuganini has comparatively less overt hip action. There is still going to be hip action in this, but that sort of subtle mastery is something we'll get into more towards the advanced class. Because in advanced class, we talk about how we can activate hips in just about every strike we have, even if we're standing still. And I just have this one jab, I can create a little pop to generate that force without really moving my body. It's quick, but this is something we'll get into later on in your training. For right now, Fugata Ni has less of these hip actions, especially even compared to Fugata Ich, which has a lot of Shikarashi Zenkutsu that we can shoot that hip action into. This is because Fugata Ni is not a Shorin-ryu kata, or at least it wasn't originally. Shorin-ryu prides itself on being soft, fluid, and fast. This is where we generate our power and our defenses. If you're quick, they can't find you, they can't hit you. If you're quick, then you can generate more momentum into your strikes. E equals MC squared. So the more speed you have on an object, the more power it's going to have. A pebble, if fired out of a gun, is going to do a lot of damage because it's moving fast. If you just picked up a pebble, tossed it, it doesn't do anything. This is why if you look at bullets, bullets are little things. You pick up a bullet and you throw it at somebody, it'll tap off of them. But if you load it into a gun first, now it's devastating because that's being propelled very fast. This is one of the principles of Shorin-ryu. We want to move quick for our strikes. Fugata Ni, however, comes from Naharu or Gojuru. Depending on the history that you're looking at and the specific style, it generated from the Naha province of Okinawa rather than the Shuri province. In that style, they focus a lot more on the sort of iron body, locked, straight power positions. Think of a bit more of a stocky body. The difference between I kind of like to compare it as the difference between a bodybuilder and a runner. Someone who lifts heavy weights all the time, or someone who runs on the treadmill all the time. Both these guys are going to be top of their game, but the treadmill guy is not going to be able to lift a 200-pound dumbbell. The dumbbell guy isn't going to be able to run 5 miles on the treadmill. Typically, I mean, diversify your training. Do both, but I'm making a general analysis here. So in Fugata Ni, we don't have as much of these overt sort of, I'm turning my body into a strike. They sit and they hit. They stand and they hit. It's more direct in its presentation and much stronger in the body. If you've gotten into Nahanchi Shodan, the Nahanchi katas, similar idea there. All right, let's go again. From the top. Fugata Ni, your hook, right hip into the inside block and draw for the high. Hook, hook, left hip into the block and set for the hammer. Hook, 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 draw it in and set for the low block. Hook, hook, feet. Hook, 1, 2, 3. Hook, take your left hip, spin into the chop. Hook, 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 1, 2, 3. Take your right hip up, spin into the chop, facing your chest to the east, chop to the north. Hook, hook, feet, feet. Fugata Ni. All right, continuing to move on. Let's take a look at Pinan Nidan. This is, we introduced at the orange belt level. This is your first Pinan kata. So, another quick history lesson. Because if we look at our counting, Ich, Ni, San, Shi. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinan Nidan. Pinan, Ich, Ni, Dan. Nidan means number 2. Anytime you hear a number, this means if it follows by a dan, ni dan, san dan, this is referring to sort of its number in placement. First, second, third, fourth. So when we say nidan, this is really saying second. So pinan nidan literally translates to the second pinan kata.
We learned this one first, however, and that's a little funky. The reason being, or the reason for this, is Pinan Nidan, compared to Pinan Shodan, has some more simple or simpler sort of movements, especially when it comes to the hands. Pinan Nidan looks a lot like Fugata Ich. So when these katas were first designed, they were designed Pinan Shodan, then Pinan Nidan. But over the years, and masters interpreting them, they realized that, when Fugata Ich and Fugata Ni were introduced, they found that while students were learning Fugata Ich initially, Pinan Nidan looks a lot like that. So let's move Pinan up in our learning order, because it's already similar to something they've done. And then teaching, this is what we call scaffolding. We take something you already know and then build on it to make something new. So Fugata Ich becomes Pinan Nidan. Then Pinan Nidan, since now we've done some cat stances, we've introduced some new stuff, we can do Pinan Shodan to introduce the next level of that, and then Pinan Sandan, Pinan Yandan, and Pinan Godan for your 5 Pinan katas. So, fun little history lesson there. Let's get to it. Pinan Nidan. Open yoi. Then just like Fugata Ni, we're going to take a little step forward. Only now we're going to shift our weight onto that right foot and pop our hip to roll that hammer. So you can think of it as drawing the hip into that hammer to swing down. So I'm keeping my elbow out here, change my angle here. And I'm even kind of grabbing my belt. I want my hand to come all the way back. Grab your belt tassels. Not bring your whole arm in. Keep that elbow out just enough for your wrist to come back to your body. If you hit yourself in the chin, you came back far enough. Trust me, when I first learned this, I popped myself and I bit my tongue more than once. But you'll learn how to keep that fist down so it just misses you. And this creates that nice flick and strike. So a little bonus lesson there. Ready? From the top. Hup, hup, hup. Pop the left hip into the block and then kick away for the hammer. Hup, hup. Shigarachi right hip pops for the low block. Hip to hand. Hup, hup, hup. Left foot steps all the way instead up to the corner. This is where it changes from Fugata Ich. Fugata Ich has us go to the corner. Pinan Nidan goes to the wall. So I'm stepping all the way to the east wall. Pop the right hip into the hand. Now I'm putting this hand back so it's out of the way, and you can see me a little clearer. 1, 2. Continue. Hup. Hup. Then the same thing on the left. Pop the left hip to throw the right hand. Hup. Hup. Right hip to left hand. Hup. Hup. Hey. First cat stance. Going towards our west wall. Left foot comes around. Now here, we're going to turn the right hip in to get that low deflection, sort of reaching out before pushing with the left hip into that low knife. Hook and pop. So you're going to take your left hip to throw your right hand. Left hip, throw this into the right hand. Right hip, throws into the left hand. Back to yoi, and bow for Pinan Nidan. Now it looks like we are getting a little close to the end. So we're going to jump into Pinan Shodan real quick. If you want to review some more Pinan Nidan, rewind the tape, take another look. Ready? Pinan Shodan. Yoi. Right foot steps forward again. Pop the right hip, and this is going to swing into our double block. So hip into the hands. Drop,
to drop, I'm going to lower my foot to the ground even. So if I come forward, you can kind of see where my feet are. Pop, I'm going to lower my heel and punch through. Before pivoting, pop the left hip into the double, drop the heel so that I can reach this block through and punch. As I reach the block through, I'm kind of lining my hips up, squaring before pushing my punching hip forward again. Draw to the corner, kick south, moate, right hip shoots into the left hand. Draw, left hip sets back as I chamber, and then turn. Left hip sets to throw into the right hand. Right hip draws to throw into the left hand. Then spear, nigate. Left foot steps to the east. Swing the right hip into the left hand. Teardrop. The teardrop also keeps my left hip back, so I can flick it in to give power to the right hand. Step through with the right, and again, draw the left hip into your right hand. Step through, teardrop so the right hip stays checked. Pop into the left hand. Side step, pointing to the south. Corkscrew. Now the corkscrew, we're going to throw our right hip forward so we can roll that back fist in. Front kick, set. Now when I step down, I'm keeping my hips open. My left hip is still back so that I can pivot it in, turning my toes, my left toes from the east to the south, and give power to that left reverse punch. I'll then continue that corkscrew, bring the left hip through to create energy into that back fist. Left kick, step down, keeping the right hip back, open hips, before turning the toes south, flicking the hip into the right hand. Big step, rolling block. Left foot comes around, right hip delivers into left hand for low block. Step up for high block. Step towards the northeast, left hip to right hand. Step up, high block, and back to yoi before we bow. Now it goes through. We got ich, ni, pinan nidan, and pinan shodan. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get through it multiple times as I was hoping, but we did learn some really cool stuff about it and how our hips can affect our motion as we go. So take some time this weekend and practice these, play with them. Walk through, if we got an ich, if we got a ni, pinan nidan, pinan shodan. If you have higher level katas, try it out with pinan sandan, pinan yandan. Nahanshi, you can play with it a little bit, although the Nahanshi flicks are a little unique. So if you've had classes with me and we've discussed before, remember back to how we've discussed those previously. And of course, do practice your Nahanshi. Just because I'm telling you to practice one thing doesn't mean you shouldn't practice something else too. You got to prioritize your needs. And right now, I don't see you. So I don't know your needs unless you leave a comment or set up that Skype call so that we can talk about it and I can take a look or answer your questions. But I hope this all helped, that you'll learn something new, something interesting, and you'll have something to play with this weekend. Until next time, Jatsuke, arigatou gozaimasu, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, boink. Hey, boink.